Good evening, viewers. What a warm way to welcome you to LNTV News Live. 30 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our world. Today is Wednesday, March 3, 2021. I'm Cecilia Glickly Clark anchoring this edition, and these are the top stories we're following. President George Weah underscores the importance of post-secondary education for young people, especially women. United Nations Resident Coordinator Neil Scott says the UN will remain a critical partner in Liberia's quest for sustainable peace. Grand-Bassa County District 5 Representative Thomas Goswa calls for amendment of Liberia's drug laws. And elsewhere in Africa, state security forces arrest prominent Senegalese opposition politician Ousmane Sango on allegation of disturbing public order in the capital, Dakar. All these stories plus much more are coming up. But first, let's take a short break to be right back. Many thanks for rejoining us. Let's take our developments. President George Weah says it is important for young people, especially women, to pursue the goal of attaining post-secondary education. President George Weah said the government would create the necessary condition to remove those binding constraints that are limiting the enrollment of female in universities and colleges in Liberia. Speaking at the University of Liberia convocation Wednesday, President Weah said removing such constraints will also enhance gender parity in education. The visitor to the university, however, described as a new beginning the steady increment of female graduates at the state-run university. According to the UL authorities, 40% of the graduates from the 101st commencement convocation are females. The Liberian leader maintained that his government will continue its support to the education sector in the best way to provide quality education for the citizens. The new United Nations Resident Coordinator Neil Scott says the UN will remain a critical partner in supporting Liberia's peace process. Mr. Scott said UN support to peace in the country will focus on the conduct of free, fair, transparent, and credible elections. He also extolled the National Elections Commission for successfully conducting the special senatorial elections in December last year, despite the challenges. Mr. Scott spoke Wednesday when he paid a courtesy call on the Night Board of Commissioners to acquaint himself with the activities of the commission. Also speaking, NEC Chairperson David Eto Brown Lassan lauded the role of the UN Resident Coordinator in strengthening relations among key electoral actors and galvanizing support for the NEC. To this one now, Liberia's Internal Affairs Minister Vani Salif is commending local authorities in the 6 counties that were a part of President George Weah's first leg nationwide tour. Minister Salif is also commending other line ministries and agencies for coordinating with the Internal Affairs Ministry to make the president just in the tour a success. He spoke Wednesday when he appeared on ELBC radio.
The president didn't just go to the people in town hall meetings, but we made it in a way that there was dedication of some development projects, groundbreaking of a referral hospital like in Grand Gide and Rest Mill in River G and so forth. Even we broke ground for a mini hydro in River G connecting to Maryland that will supply electricity to part of Maryland and River G. So these were different activities that the president was involved in addition to having the town hall meetings that the people were so happy to see him in the town hall meeting. And the humility that the president brought to the different town hall meetings. There was no restriction of these people to express themselves. It's all just to thank everybody, but it is something that I didn't mention of. The president is very keen about the road that leads from Ganta to Sacré-Pied, Sacré-Pied to Tapeta, and on to Zredu to Fishtown. That was spoken about by the president. He's very keen to see that road, and there's mobilization done already on the different segments because they are in different segments. Mobilization being done, but the portion that comes from the Ganta to Secretary is now is going to be done this time.
His Internal Affairs Minister Vani Salif. Grand Bassa County District 5 Representative Thomas Goswa is calling for an amendment of the drug law of Liberia. Representative Goswa wants the drug law amended to make drug crimes non-bailable offenses. He was speaking at the start of a two-day multi-sectoral stakeholders dialogue on the drug law reform in Monrovia Wednesday. Representative Goshua said because the law is bailable, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency and partners find it difficult to fight drug crimes. For his part, Armed Forces of Liberia Chief of Staff Major General Prince C. Johnson III recommended that all public officials undergo drug tests before taking office. Major General Johnson added that the move, among other things, will buttress the fight against illicit drugs. Some citizens of Perilade and Malacoman of Yelakola district are calling on the government and the county officials to assist them to construct their road. The Agriculture and Road Project Chairman Reverend Henry George said the road project will help release the many challenges in getting their produce to the market. He spoke Wednesday in Yelakola District, Bang County.
You have to tow about 2 to 3 hours on your head. You take the pepper, beraba on your head, the pumpkin, the plantain, the oil, and carry it to the market. So we are really suffering here. And to really take these things from here, 2 to 3 hours, many will get tired and the commodity will get spoiled, and then you don't have any means to get into the market. We're making an appeal to the Liberian government through the Ministry of Public Works to help us build a road all over this area so that we can have access to road, access to the market. Because part of Market Road is very, very important. Now you can see the kids that are here, they walk 2 hours just to get to Zianshu to school. And then some of our farmers, they walk 2, 3 hours before they can get to Zianshu with their produce. Those who have idea about crop science, about agriculture, then will be able to give some pieces of advice to our people. And so this is our appeal. And secondly, we want the government of Liberia to give a yellow machine, the excavator, the compactor, and to help build our road. Basically, we want our road built, in addition to all that we have asked for.
Also speaking, the project coordinator Nathan Cole said access to Market Road is crucial to the development group of the citizens.
So we did the road almost about 6 miles in, we overlap it. But we said, okay, but then we need something in the treasure. That's how we decided at least to be, doing a little contract. Have to go work, they pay us, we put in treasure. So presently, as we are speaking to you, even if machine comes, we have to provide fuel for even 3 days work. You see, we have to provide fuel for ourselves. We have little things covered. Because when someone, scrubbing your back, you should be able to rub your hand on your stomach. You see, so We cannot sit and wait like the person will cry out to come and do everything, you see. So we are calling on national government, we are calling on all, donor agency to come to our aid, to come and please help us. We are dying. Our women, some of them die through abortion while being rushed in Hammond 2-3 miles, hours distant before we get on the road, they die. The population of this village, we have over 3, 4, 5, 6 villages on the road. But some, you enter there, you see up to 100 person, 70, 45, 20, 25, all along going. That's not just one town or village. We get over 5, 6 or more villages, along the road going.
Nathan Colley is the road coordinator of Yellow Cola District in Bond County. Well, viewers, if you just joined us, it's a reminder you are watching LNTV News Live, and these are the top stories we're following. President George Weah underscores the importance of post-secondary education for young people, especially women. United Nations Resident Coordinator Neil Scott says the UN will remain a critical partner in Liberia's quest for sustainable peace. Grand-Bassa County District 5 Representative Thomas Goswa calls for amendment of Liberia's drug law. And elsewhere in Africa, state security forces arrest prominent Senegalese opposition politician Ousmane Sonko on allegation of disturbing public order in the capital, Dakar. We take a short break. When we return, we bring you more developments. Please keep watching. Many thanks for rejoining us. I'm Cecilia Glickley Clark, anchoring tonight's edition. The national chairman of the Community Watch Forum of Liberia, Nyanti Kafi, is calling on government to support the forum's initiatives across the country. Mr. Kafi said government needs to recognize the effort of the forum in various communities across the country and provide logistical support for the effectiveness of the forum. He spoke recently in an interview with ELBC News. To this one now, Nima County Representative Johnson Guaiklo has reiterated calls for the elevation of the Nima Community College to university status. In an LNTV interview recently, Representative Guaiklo said the entity has good facility and prepared administration to be elevated. Let's now take our foreign development. Prominent Senegalese opposition politician Ousmane Sonko has been arrested. Mr. Sonko is accused of disturbing public order in the capital, Dakar, as he traveled to court for a hearing in a rape case. His motorcade was followed by hundreds of chanting supporters who were dispersed by police with tear gas. On Friday, Senegalese parliament voted to strip Mr. Sonko of his immunity so the rape prosecution could proceed. But according to the BBC, Mr. Sonko denies he raped a woman at a salon where he went to get massage. Mr. Sonko came third in the 2019 presidential election and has accused President Marcus Sall of maneuvering to run for an unconstitutional third term. Well, viewers, on that note, this is how we draw the curtains on tonight's edition of LNTV News Live. But before we go, a recap of the major stories we followed. President George Weah underscores the importance of post-secondary education for young people, especially women. United Nations Resident Nell Scott says the UN will remain a critical partner in Liberia's quest for sustainable peace. Grand Bassa County District 5 Representative Thomas Goswa calls for amendment of Liberia's drug laws. And elsewhere in Africa, state security forces arrest prominent Senegalese opposition politician Ousmane Sango on allegation of disturbing peace in the capital, Dakar. Many thanks to our entire production team for making tonight's edition a success. Many thanks to you, our valued viewers, for watching. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Cecilia Gligley Clark. I anchored. Good night from Pinsfield.